This is Jean Piaget's Cognitive Development Theory, presented by Laura Salas and Nati Lian. Jean Piaget was a Swiss psychologist born in 1896. He was the oldest of 3 children, and his father was a university professor of medieval literature. Although originally his education was in natural sciences, he became very interested in psychoanalysis after studying at the University of Zurich for 1 semester. Shortly after he began observing and studying the development of children, he defined himself as a genetic epistemologist interested in the qualitative development of knowledge. Let's discuss Piaget's cognitive development theory. To present an adequate notion of learning, one must first explain how the individual manages to construct and invent, not merely how he repeats and copies. Piaget, 1970b. There are 3 basic components in Piaget's theory: knowledge construction, adjustment process, and stages of development. The first component, schema, which is the construction of knowledge. A cohesive, repeatable action sequence possessing component actions that are tightly interconnected and governed by a core meaning. Piaget, 1952. In schema, knowledge is being created or constructed from what we already know. These are building blocks, where the previous block supports the new block of information. The next component is the adjustment process of assimilation, accommodation, and equilibration. In assimilation, we use an existing schema, learned knowledge, to handle a new object or situation. Through accommodation, we make adjustments to what we already know when faced with something new. Equilibration is the force that pushes the learning process when an existing schema has not yet been learned and a new challenge must be overcome. The diagram illustrates the cycle of these processes. The third component are the stages of development. Piaget believed that learning was directly related to level of maturity. These stages are sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational. In the sensory motor stage, ages 0 to 2 years old, children learn by doing, looking, touching, sucking, and at the age of 9 months, object permanence is evident. That is, they understand that an object still exists even though they can't see or hear it. In the pre-operational stage, children are ages 2 to 7 years old, and they will use language and symbols to represent objects, but they cannot reason logically. At this stage, they can also pretend and are egocentric. In the concrete operational stage, children ages 7 to 11 or 12 can think logically about concrete objects. They have a mature understanding of cause and effect relationships, and they also understand conservation. Finally, the formal operations stage, children ages 12 to adult. In this stage, they demonstrate abstract thinking, including logic, deductive reasoning, comparison, and classification. This was Jean Piaget's cognitive learning theory. We hope we helped in your understanding of it and have enjoyed the presentation. We look forward to seeing you in our discussion board sessions. Thank you.
Created using Powtoon.